Hey guys, welcome to the second episode of Caleb's Corner, where I'm still not in a corner, and I can't get a haircut because nothing's open. Like most kids when I was in high school, I played a lot of video games, so much that my parents banned me from playing video games this school week because they thought it would help me do my schoolwork. Well, it didn't because I still didn't do my schoolwork. But like I said, my scholarly pursuits were video games in high school. And I have a very fond memory of gaming in high school. It was an era of gaming that had a lot of momentum and change, and it was very exciting. I'm talking specifically about 2010 to 2013 in gaming was I think one of the best times of gaming. And this video is going to be about why I think 2010 to 2013 is one of the best eras of gaming we've ever had. In 2010, we had Mass Effect 2, which is one of my favorite RPG games ever. Amazing. Red Dead Redemption, great game. Halo Reach, my favorite Halo game. Super Mario Galaxy, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, play that game a lot. Transformers War for Cybertron, which is a very underrated game, not just for people who like Transformers. And probably my personal favorite game of all time. This probably makes me very biased about this, but Fallout New Vegas came out in 2010. And if you know anything about me, I talk about that game probably too much.
I hate Mondays. Just hate them. Therefore, I decree from this day forward, there will be no more Mondays.
And then in 2011, we have Batman Arkham City. I think one of the best games ever made. Portal 2, Uncharted 3, The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword, Deus Ex Human Evolution, Crysis 2, which I think is one of the best first-person shooters ever made, The Witcher 2, Dead Space, and this little game some people have played called The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. 2012, we have Dishonored, which I think is a really fun, creative stealth game. Borderlands 2, I like that game a lot. Far Cry 3, Walking Dead by Telltale, Mass Effect 3, very solid game. Halo 4, shouldn't be on this list. Journey, and for the PC players, Counter-Strike Global Offensive. What? Have this slew of just banger games. And then 2013 comes along, and the list is a little bit more slim, but we do have some exceptional games here. We have BioShock Infinite, GTA 5, which made some money, The Last of Us, and then underrated game, people like to hate on it, I think a little bit too much, but Batman Arkham Origins. I think it's still fun. Now, a lot of my fondness for this era of video games could be equated to nostalgia, which is probably true. But I came in late to the Xbox 360, PS3 era of gaming, and so I came in at late 2011, and I just had all these games available for me to play, and it was stepping to the renaissance of games. And I stepped in pretty late to the Xbox One and PS4 generation, and the same thing didn't quite happen. I don't think we've maxed out games by any way. They can still get better, just like any art form can get better. But I think we've hit an almost plateau of technology that no longer are we adding new features, it's just we're adding more visual stunningness and more shine and sparkle to it. You see, the Renaissance was an explosion of all kinds of art, and they really refined and perfected their forms to a point where where do we go from here? It's very interesting, this idea of a plateau I mentioned, because after the Renaissance, there's this period called the Neoclassical period, where they just kind of tried to copy the Renaissance. And there's two really good examples of this kind of copying act in 2019. The first one of these examples is probably one of my most anticipated games of 2019, and it was the spiritual successor to my all-time favorite game, Fallout New Vegas. It was Outer World. And during the whole news cycle of this game, people raved about how it was like a classic RPG, and it was like getting back to the roots of the genre. And I just thought it was very interesting. I was gonna put up these. I know this is a. There we go. Fallout New Vegas, favorite game. I know this is not the actual one. Most of my old games are at my parents' house, and I don't have them with me. So I have the nice Xbox One remakes for them. So now we have a display. The second example I want to use is, I think, probably one of my favorite games out of 2019, and that's Jedi Fallen Order. And there's a lot of similar talk in the news cycle for this game as Outer Worlds. Everyone was hailing it as this like back to the roots kind of basic action adventure game that we haven't seen in a while. There weren't any like add-ons or microtransactions to buff it out, but it was just a simple basic game. It also has the best robot of any Star Wars game or movie ever. And I can't really complain that they're trying to go back to the early Xbox 360 and PS3 days of gaming. I mean, I'm sitting here making a whole video about why that is my favorite era of gaming. And I think the core of why I love that era of gaming is it synthesized a simplicity of it, but also there was a very quick momentum to games then. I think one of the big reasons for the huge leaps in technology during this era of games is that games finally became like super profitable. But they weren't so profitable yet that people and companies didn't want to take risks on doing something crazy in them. What I'm getting at is the more money you put into something, the more money you're going to have to make back to make it profitable. Basically, they just don't make games like they used to, except they're trying to make games exactly like they used to make them. Which, in all honesty, is a good thing. It's not bad. I mean, they had some of the best games come out during that era, so why not try to replicate how they were making games then? Not every game has to be a massive open world, or has to be a giant like multiplayer extravaganza. I think games are starting to realize that more now, that niches do exist, and they don't have to be everything at once. Jedi Fallen Order was praised because it just did action adventure so well, one in a way that we hadn't seen since the first 2 or 3 Uncharted games. People loved the Outer Worlds because it knew its identity. It wasn't trying to be this RPG with all these multiplayer elements like Destiny or Anthem. It just was trying to be a single-player action RPG that led you through the galaxy. And that's all it needed to be. And I think what's really cool is now we're seeing the other side of things, and game companies are realizing, hey, like niche games, they make money too. Now, I'll always love these games more than probably any other games. I mean, 7 of my top 10 favorite games come from between 2010 and 2013. So it just makes sense that I will love that era more. But I'm super excited for this next generation. Seeing the trends, I'm just excited to see what comes out of it. There's some cool rumors I've been hearing about what's to come, and I don't know, it's an exciting time. I wasn't super excited for the last console generation, but I am kind of excited for this one, and that's kind of cool to say. I had a whole lot of fun making this video. I'll probably make videos about Fallout New Vegas and Borderlands 2 at some point, because I love them so much. But click subscribe, join the Corner Crew. Other than that, guys, thanks for watching. Hope to see you back again soon. Love y'all. Love each other. Peace. I realized I mentioned my top 10 favorite games briefly in that video, so I'm going to read out my top 10 favorite games. These aren't in any particular order, mostly. So, Fallout New Vegas, which you already knew. I'll easily say that's my top 3. Borderlands 2, top 3 favorite games ever, easy. The Witcher 3, that one's probably my top 3, rounding out the top 3. Batman Arkham City, that is a very strong contender for the 3rd place. Metal Gear Solid 3, man, I have some very fond memories of that game. That was one of the first games I played a lot on PS2. Mass Effect 2, it's a classic. Overwatch, Dishonored 2, Halo Reach, and the Telltale Batman series.